Okay, so hello everybody. Um, if you guys can hear me, please just confirm this in the chat so that I know everything is okay and we can get on with this. So can you hear me? I will also type it in the chat. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. People are starting to say yes, though you guys can hear me, which is great. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Awesome. Very, very nice. So super excited. A lot of people are in the chat here today. And I feel like I was here very soon, right? Because last week I was here on Friday because I was sick. So I had to postpone last week's Wednesday class to Friday. And yeah, it's 3 days later now, or 4 days later, and I'm here again. So, which is kind of nice. I like doing these smart streams. But yes, lots of people are in the chat today. So good to see all of you. Thank you so much for coming to the class today, you guys. Can see a lot of the usual suspects, the usual people that keep showing up every week, and some new faces too. So there is Victoria, Juliana, Mayara, Walid, Barry. We have Ahmed, we have Naima, we have Jacqueline, we have Amr, we have Summer, we've got Walid also here. Who else do we have? Lots of people today. We have Karim or Khuram. I hope that I'm saying that right. There's Deborah in the class today. There is Sundar. I think that's Sundar. P Vega is in the house. I like that name. It sounds cool, and it reminds me of one of my favorite movies, right? Where Pulp Fiction, and I did a quote about that before, where John Travolta plays Vincent Vega, right? So I like the name Vega very much. It always reminds me of that movie. Jacqueline is here. And of course, Judith is also here. And also, of course, we have Rosa. Very nice to see you, Rosa. Yeah, lots of people. Very, very cool, you guys. Thank you so much for coming to the class. Makes me happy when I see a lot of people eager to actually come in to these streams. There's a guy called Sok saying good morning. Good morning, Sok. Very nice of you to come. Thank you very much. Radwan is also here. Hello, Radwan. Very nice of you to come. So awesome. And Jose. Sorry. Hey, Jose and Garima also. Some of my usual suspects. So very nice to see everyone today. Thank you all for coming. I am actually a little bit sick still. I don't know why. It's been a very, very rough cold that I have. It doesn't want to leave, right? So this cold is just, it's not leaving me. But yeah, so I'm a little bit sick, so you might hear me sniffling today, and sniffling just means, you know, when you go like this. And I also might clear my throat, right? So I might be doing a lot of this. So please forgive me if I do that. But I did not want to postpone my class again this week, right? So I'm not too sick that I cannot work. So we're just please bear with me and forgive me for that today. Afa says, why you are always sick? I don't know. Usually, actually, I am not. Usually, I don't get sick. And when I do get sick, I only get sick for 2 days or 3 days. But this time, it was very strange. I don't know why I've been so sick for so long. I think I've been sick for almost 2 weeks now, which is a very long time. For me, anyway. It's a very, very long time. Eka Phone, I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. Is from Laos, which is awesome. I don't think that I've ever had a student from Laos before. Very nice of you to join the class, Ekfon. Thank you very much. Someone is saying it's because of the weather. Yes, probably is. The weather's starting to get very, very, very cold in Vancouver now, and we already changed the time. So in Vancouver, we changed the time in winter and in summer, and yeah, and I already did that. So today's class is vocabulary. So last Friday when I was doing the class, I gave you guys a choice, and all of you, well, most of you, chose that you wanted to do grammar that day, and I promised you guys that we are going to be doing vocabulary today. So I'm going to keep my promise and we are going to be doing vocabulary today. Rosa, oh, that's okay, Rosa. That's all right. I'm not too tired, right? This is I'm not too tired that I can't work. It's fine. Ooh, and I have somebody from Peru. So Waira is from Peru, which is very, very cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Peru and Laos today. We're becoming more international. This class is becoming super global, which is very good. Okay, so let's begin. Let me tell you the usual stuff that I say in the beginning, and then we will start with our lesson, because usually grammar lessons take, vocabulary lessons, for some reason they take a longer time than the grammar lessons. So P. Vega says, I'm from Colombia. Do you know it? Yes, I know Colombia. I've had a few Colombian students in my class before, and I really like your coffee. You have very good coffee in Colombia. Mayara says, have you ever been to Brazil? No, I haven't. I have so many Brazilian friends. But I've never been to Brazil, and I really, really want to. Because one of my favorite things to eat, and if you are Brazilian, you will know this, are paçoquitas, right? So I am addicted to paçoquitas. All my Brazilian friends, they always, and students, they always bring me paçoquitas when they come to Vancouver, and I love it. You know that big box? I can eat that box in 2 weeks, which is a lot. That's 1 kilogram of paçoquitas. But yeah, I've never been to Brazil, unfortunately, but I definitely would love to go. Samar from Syria. Hello, Samar. Thank you so much for coming in. Judith is saying for a bribe. I think she means like, do the students buy me paçoquitas to bribe me? No, they're not for a bribe. It's just they're being nice. You know, they're being very, very kind, and they're being very nice. And it will not work anyway, right? Even if they give me paçoquitas because they want something, I'll take it, but I'm not going to give them what they want. So too bad. Another person is asking, have I ever been to Pakistan? No, I haven't. I have a lot of Pakistani friends. I grew up actually with a lot of Indian and Pakistani friends, among some other cultures from the world. But I've never been to Pakistan before. Musa, hello Musa, thank you for coming to the class. He says, I'm very interested in this channel. Awesome. That's hopefully what we want the channel to be. We want the channel to be interesting for people. So that's great. Judith says, I was a teacher too, and my bribe was study. Yes, that is the best bribe that we teachers like to get, right? Is when the students actually study. All right, so I think that's it. All right, lots of questions, you guys. You guys have a lot of questions for me this week, which is kind of nice, but I don't have time for all the questions, especially today in the vocabulary lesson, because it's going to take a long time. Walid says, have you ever been to Egypt, Karim? Yes, Walid, that is where I am from, right? So I am actually Egyptian, and yeah, I've definitely been to Egypt many, many times. So, and I lived in Egypt for some time too. All right, so let's get on with this. So let me bring up the main screen and let me become smaller for a second. So there we go. I'm small and tiny. All right, so let's get on with it. So for the people that do not know, if this is your first time with me in this class, my name is Karim, and I'm an English teacher, and I also teach some college courses in Vancouver at CCEL and at CC. So CCEL is the Canadian College of English Language, and that's where I teach my English classes every day. And I also teach a couple of courses in the college, which is called CC, which is Canadian College. So I've been doing this for about 6 years now. I've been using Smrt for almost the same time, and yeah, I really love Smrt, which is why I was very happy to get this opportunity to do the live streaming with you guys, because I enjoy using Smrt, and I really think it's a good way of sort of learning, right? So I like using it, and it's always fun to do these every week. So please, if you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the Smrt English channel. It says Smrt Live Class here, but the channel name is Smrt English. So make sure that you subscribe to that, and don't forget to hit the bell button. When you hit the bell button, that will tell you whenever somebody has a stream or when our classes are. You can always check which classes are coming up soon, and you can even set a reminder. So when you want to watch the class, when it's ready, you'll get a reminder for that. And you guys have been doing a great job. Thank you for getting me. So remember, this is my separate channel. So if you click on my face, right? That's my face. So click on my face, and this will open up my personal English YouTube channel, which is also part of Smrt, right? Over there, you can find some videos for me. So I usually put videos called Phrases with Karim. So they're very short, 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos maximum. I usually give you a phrase and you guys get to guess what it means. Or I give you some slang words or things like that. And I also have another series called Vancouver Out and About. So I just shoot, again, very short videos showing you Vancouver and showing you interesting things that I walk by in Vancouver every day. So make sure you also subscribe to my channel over there, because our mission, and the people that always watch my show every week know this, our mission is to, and Julian is not here today. I'm missing Julian. Julian knows the drill. We want to beat Sean's subscriber numbers, you guys. So we are at 406, but Sean is also steadily going up, and he's at 577. So so don't forget, if you have not yet, subscribe to my other channel so we can beat Sean's number. There's no reason that I want to beat his number. I just want to. So let's do that, you guys. Also, don't forget, I have my other personal channel, which is not related to English. You guys can watch that, and it's called Food AF. So I have a cooking channel on YouTube where I cook something or I talk about food, and it's every week. Oh, somebody subscribed to me already. Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, so if you like food, if you like eating, like all of us, please go check out my food cooking channel. So I have an episode every week. At least I try to make an episode every week. And yeah, it's not English, but you can practice listening, because I do talk in English. So you can practice at least listening to my channel or listening to some English vocabulary that's related to cooking. All right. Next up, also don't forget Facebook, of course. You can join the Smrt English Facebook group. It's called Learn English on Facebook with Smrt, and it's a very nice community. We almost have about 23,000 people, and people always, you know, they help each other out in English. If I have time also and I'll see a question, I'll answer it for you guys and I'll help you out with it. Sean, you know, all of us over here, we try our best to be active on the group, right? So so please don't forget, you can also hit us up over there, and of course on all the other social media. You can find me on Facebook. If you click on my name, all my social media is called Karim Smrt Live. So Facebook, Karim Smrt Live; Instagram, Karim Smrt Live; and Twitter, Karim Smrt Live. And that is it. I think that's all that I needed to say. So let's let's begin. Before I begin, let's do the movie quote of the week for last week. So last week I gave you guys a movie quote, and it was Julian, I believe. Yes, it was Julian. Julian who won, right? Julian was the first to guess what movie this was from, and he got it correct. So the movie quote for last week was, I'm going to try to do the voice again. I don't know if it's going to be good when I'm sick, but I'm going to try. So it goes like this. Calm down, doctor. Now's not the time for fear. That comes later. And of course, if you don't know, this is from the movie The Dark Knight, which is, of course, the awesome Batman movie that was made by Christopher Nolan, right? The director Christopher Nolan. So this is from The Dark Knight, and this was said by the character Bane, right? That big guy who wears this mask on his face. And that was where the quote is from. So please stick around with me today till the end of the class, and I will give you guys the movie quote for this week. So yeah, so stick around till the end, and we will do that. All right, I've wasted enough time. Let's get into this. So this week we're doing vocabulary, as I said to you guys last week, and the vocabulary for this week I think is related to fashion. To fashion. So yeah, so fashion. So this is from Unit 5 in Smart English 120, which is the intermediate sort of level that I am doing with you guys here on the stream, and we're going to be doing vocabulary from here. I'll do this now so I don't forget. I'm going to share with you guys in the chat the link for two different websites that are going to have all the vocabulary that I'm going to talk about today, right? So after we finish the class, if you guys want to go and practice using all the vocabulary that I'm going to talk about today, you can go to these two links, and there are going to be some very, very cool exercises over there, right? So usually Quizlet is a very nice website that I like because the exercises are different. You can have flashcards, you can write, you can have some spelling games, you can do a test, you can do some matching, right? Whatever you want. It's really, really cool. So, so please use these websites to do the practice later or whenever you guys want. Rosa says, I got it right only once when the movie quote was The Godfather. Yes, I remember that, Rosa. Judith is asking a question about last class. If you have a question about the grammar that we did last class, Judith, just write it in the comment section under that lesson, and I'll see it and I'll give you an answer. I don't want to mix the classes that we're doing, right? So I'm just going to stick to the plan today, which is fashion vocabulary. But I'll be very happy to answer your question if you just put it in the comment section in the video for that grammar. So don't worry about that. Just put it over there, and I promise you I'll answer the question when I have the time to see it. Okay, so let's start. So remember, we're talking about fashion, and always remember, you guys, when we do vocabulary, always remember that most words in English usually have more than one meaning, right? So just keep this always in the back of your mind. Some words will have more than one meaning. That because I'm not going to be talking, I'm not going to be explaining all the different meanings for the words, right? I'm only going to be talking about the meaning that is related to what we're talking about today. Arzang is asking, why is this class too late? Well, we try, Arzan, to put out classes in different times, right? So Sean usually does his class on Friday in the afternoon. Kent, I'm not sure when Kent does it. I think Kent does it around 3 o'clock also, something like that, but I don't know what days that he does it on. It depends on our time. So honestly, this is the only time that I have free during the week, right? Because like I said, I actually have 2 other jobs, and this is my 3rd job. So this is the only time that I'm free that I can come in to do the class, or sometimes on Fridays. But I try not to do it on Fridays because I also have some other commitments that I usually do on Fridays. But yeah, that's the reason why my class is on Wednesday at 3, because that's the only time that I'm free to do it. Samia is saying, hello Karim. Hello Samia, very nice of you to come to the class. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I know that the times are different everywhere, Arzan. I'm sorry, I can't I can't match everyone's time because we live on a globe, right? If it's too late for you, you can always watch the video later or after it's done. But for me personally, this is the only time that I'm free to be able to do the classes. So I apologize, guys, if it's not the best time for you, but you can always watch the class later. Okay. So let's begin. Hi, John. John is new here, guys. Welcome, John, to the class. Thank you for coming. Rosa's asking, what's the time now in Vancouver? It's 3:20. So let's begin. So the first word that we have today, you guys, is advance. Advance. There have been many advances in technology. So advance in this case just very simply means progress, right? That means things have been going forward, right? Things were advancing. So you guys have been watching my classes for some time now, And when you guys are studying every week, when you do study, you guys advance. That means you become better, right? So you progress. There have been many advances in technology. Notice that advance can be a noun and it can be a verb, right? So there have been many advances in technology. In this case, it's a noun. But if you advance in something, that means if you progress in something, then it's a verb. Improvement, yes, very good, right? So Ramazan is saying improvement as a synonym for advance, and you are correct. Okay, next word is aim. So your aim is, like you can see here, the word between these two brackets is goal, right? So your aim is your goal. It's your target. It's something that you want to reach, or somewhere that you want to reach, or it's something that you want to achieve, right? Something that you want to do in your life. So my aim is to finish work by 6 p.m. My aim is to finish work by 6 p.m. Karim is also saying intention, yes, and that could be another meaning for aim, your intention. What was your aim when you said something? Yes, that could also mean your intention. Your purpose, Rosa is saying your purpose, that's also a very good synonym for it. But yes, I think you guys get it, right? So your aim is your goal, your target. Yes, very good, Judith. All right, now advance. I think, didn't we just do this? There have been many technological advances. There have been many technological advances in the fashion industry. This is the same meaning. I think that they just put it twice by mistake. But yeah, it's the same meaning. Next word is appearance. Appearance. He wants to improve his appearance. He wants to improve his appearance. And Garima says, look. Yes, right? But look, not the verb, right? So appearance is how you look, right? How you appear or how you look. How people see you, right? This is your appearance. His look, right? So a lot of you are saying his look, or his, yes, very good. That's it, right? Elvin, welcome Elvin to the channel. Thank you very much for coming. I am well. I hope that you are well too, and welcome to the class. And Jessica also just joined. Hello, Jessica. Welcome to the class. Thank you so much for coming. So appearance is how you look, right? Remember that. He wants to improve his appearance. That means he wants to improve the way that he looks. All right, next word. Arrange, to arrange. I'm going to arrange an appointment for us at the bank. I'm going to arrange an appointment for us at the bank. So very simply, to arrange means to plan something or to organize something, right? So to plan something. But be careful, when I say organize, I don't mean organize when you try to make something that is messy organized, right? So for example, if you come and if I'm sitting in a room and my desk is not very tidy, it's messy, it has a lot of things everywhere, right? I can say I want to organize my desk. That means put everything in its place to make it look nice and neat. This is not the meaning for organize that I mean, right? So organize means to plan, to arrange something. So I am going to arrange an appointment for us at the bank. That means I'm going to call the bank and arrange for us an appointment. That means make an appointment, right? I'm going to call the bank and go through the steps that I need to go through to make the appointment, right? So to arrange something just means to plan it or to organize it, right? Or to do it, basically. To make, yes. To schedule, yes, schedule can be used as arrange in this context, yes. Not fix, Garima, right? To arrange is not to fix something. It's not the same meaning as to fix something. Attractive. I don't think you should wear that shirt to the party. It's not very attractive. So if something is attractive, that means if something is attractive, that means to the person that thinks it's attractive, they think that this is something that looks great or looks good or it's nice, right? In their point of view. And this is very important because attractive is really subjective. Do you guys know this word? Subjective. So let me just delete last week's quote. So if something is subjective, that means it is based on people's opinions, right? So subjective means people can debate it. You can find different people that have different opinions about it. Not everybody's going to agree, right? It's subjective. And the opposite of that is objective, right? So if something is objective, that means it's not based it's not based on opinions, it's based on facts, it's based on data, it's based on numbers, it's based on proof, evidence, right? So usually if something is attractive, that's subjective really, right? So maybe what I think is attractive is not the same as what you think is attractive. Anil is saying handsome. Not necessarily, right? Yes, it can mean handsome if you're talking about men in general or males. Excuse me, but not always, because you can use attractive for men. You can use attractive for women. You can use attractive even for things like cars or plants. That's an attractive looking flower, right? That's an attractive looking car. You can even use attractive to talk about deals. So for example, hey, buy this phone and I will give you another one for free. And you can say, hey, that's an attractive deal, right? Attractive to me, right? In my point of view. So yes, that's what attractive means. It's not always handsome, right? It just means that, yes, to you, this is something that you think is good or great or beautiful, depending on the context or what you are trying to say. Mansoor says, hi Kareem, this is my first live class on YouTube. Awesome. I'm so happy that you came to my class and it was your first class. Thank you for coming, Mansoor. Welcome to the channel. Sama is saying intelligent. If you're talking about attractive, Sama, that does not mean intelligent. But a lot of people, for example, say intelligent people are attractive to me, right? So that means you like the idea of people who are intelligent. The idea of people who are intelligent is attractive to you, seems good to you, right? But it doesn't mean intelligent. It's not exactly the same. All right. Make it here, so we're gonna have a group there for speaking. No, there is no speaking in the live streams, Karim. Sorry about that, but yeah, and I don't think that would work because it will be very hard to sort of control it then. But no, unfortunately, there isn't any speaking here. All right, let's carry on. Based on the movie, so the movie is based on a book. The movie is based on a book, and the class, yes, the class is every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Vancouver time, you guys, right? So 3 p.m. Vancouver time. So if something is based on something else, that means this is where it came from, right? So if I say, for example, yesterday I watched a very interesting movie, and the movie is based on a book. That means the book was the original place that the story was. And then some people in Hollywood or somebody who makes movies, he or she read the book and they thought that this book is a cool book, or this is a nice idea in this book. I want to make a movie based on this book, right? So based on means that came from this, right? This is where the idea came from. So that's, I hope that is clear. This is the closest that I can get to explaining that. Taken the story from the book. So yes, Rosa is saying that means the story, it was taken or from the book, which is correct. That's basically how it is. Amr Arfa is asking, how do you pronounce the ed? If you're talking about this word, based, it's a T sound. And I did a class before where I talked about this. So You can go and check it out. Not a fiction story. No, Judith, be careful. Based on a book does not mean that it's not fiction. It just means it came from this book. But maybe, so for example, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a movie that is based on a book, which is called Harry Potter, right? That's where the movie came from. And Harry Potter obviously is fiction, right? So it doesn't matter fiction or non-fiction, based on a book or based on a true story. Some people will say based on a true story. That means this movie came from or was taken from a true story. So yes, just like JB, hello JB, welcome to the class, thank you for coming. Just like JB, it's saying, Judith, it may be fictional or non-fiction, right? So it doesn't really matter. Deborah is asking why based on a book, not in a book. Because if you say based in a book, then that has a very different meaning. Based, if you say I'm based in something, so for example, companies, right? So let's say, for example, Apple. Let's say Apple is based in Cupertino, right? That means the main office or the headquarters of Apple are in Cupertino, right? But think of it as a phrase, right? So just think of this as a phrase. If you want to say that something or a story or a movie or whatever came from somewhere else, this is the phrasal verb that we use, right? So just think of it this way. Don't think of on as a preposition here and based as something else. Just think of it as a phrasal verb, right? So this is just how we say it if you want to say something like this. Usually, yes, Rosa, that's a very good point. Usually movies are always taken from books or based on books and not vice versa. Vice versa is a very good word, which means and not the opposite, right? Vice versa is the opposite. That means books usually are not from movies, right? Movies are usually from books. I just answered the question, Deborah. I just answered why on a book or not in a book. All right, moving on. Brand. Brand. The brand is what usually decides the price of clothing, right? Brand is usually what decides the price of clothing. So brand is very, very simple. I'm sure all of you guys know what brand means, or at least you will know when I tell you what it is. So a brand can mean type, first of all, but in this situation, brand means the name, right? So if you can see in this picture, below these words, it says Armani, right? So Armani is a brand, and Armani is a very expensive brand. Apple is, again, the brand. So for example, let's say I want to go buy a phone, and then you can ask, oh, what brand are you getting? And they'll say, oh, I'm going to get a Samsung phone, for example. So yes, so like Afa is saying, it's a type of product made by a company, which is true, and at the same time, it can also be the name of the product, right? So the brand can be the title or the name of the company or your product. Walmart is a brand. Yes, Jessica, Walmart is a brand. Very good. Devil Wear Brand movie gnome. It's not the Wear Brand. I think it was called the Devil Wears Prada. And Prada is a very expensive brand also. Yes, like Nike, like Adidas. Yes, all of you guys are getting it, right? So that's a brand, right? So it can be the name or it can mean the type of product. Very good. Okay, carrying on. There are very expensive brands around. Yes, there are very expensive brands around. Anael is asking, brand is similar to a store. No, brand does not mean store, right? A store is a physical location, right? So that you walk inside the store. Brand just is the name, right? So just remember that brand is the name, like McDonald's. McDonald's, the name McDonald's is a brand. Okay, carrying on. certain. So certain just means sure. Are you sure? Are you certain? And that's it. It's as simple as that. So for example, the sentence says, I am certain you won't need an umbrella. Very simply, I can take out the word certain and put the word sure, and it's the same meaning. No difference at all. So I am certain you won't need an umbrella, or I am sure, right? Brand is similar to company. No, Janaina, it's not company. It's just the name, right? Just the name of the company. That's it. Only the name is called the brand. All right, so remember, certain is sure, and I am certain that you guys know what that means. So I'm gonna move on. Alex, hello, Alex, and welcome to the class. Thank you for coming. I'm certain I'm alive. Yes, yes, P Vega. That's very good. I'm certain I'm alive. I'm certain you're alive too, since you are conversating, or you are having a conversation in this class. Armani is an Italian brand. Yes, Rosa, Armani is an Italian brand. All right, classic. The next word is classic. And you can see this is what we call a classic car, right? So I always take care of my old Mustang. Why? Because it is a classic. So classic is usually when you want to describe something. Classic has a few different meanings, to be honest with you guys, right? But in this sense, classic means something that usually is old, that most people will know, and at the same time, you're trying to use the word to show that this is something that a lot of people believe that it's very good, right? Or that it is one of the best. That's usually how we use the word classic. So just like in this example, I always take care of my old Mustang. It's a classic, right? That means it's a very nice, very beautiful. I have a lot of respect, or I have a lot of love for this car. And also sometimes it can mean that usually the classics are things that have been old, right? It's some time has passed on them. And that's why people usually remember these things with warm feelings, right? And we say these are classic. Oh, hey, Julian made it. I was just telling them that that you won last week's movie quote of the week, Julian. So sorry I'm late. Well, at least better late than never, right? So at least you came to the class, Julian, and thank you for coming. Vintage car. Yes, vintage can sometimes mean classic. Yes. A lot of people sometimes use vintage instead of the word classic, and they can have similar meanings. Very good. I think Garima said this. Yes, very good, Garima. Something old. So Rosa is describing it in a different way that also makes sense. Rosa is saying something old that has become sort of important, right? Yes, I would agree with this explanation. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. I like your name. Be phenomenal or be forgotten is asking, are you Arabic? Do you want to be technical, like very, very technical? By Arabic, do you mean, do I speak the language, or do I come from the Arab Gulf area, or whatever? Yes, I am, right? So I can speak Arabic, obviously, but I like to have fun with this question because technically Egypt is in Africa. So I can say I'm African if I want, and I'm not lying. It's true. I'm African. But yes, definitely I can also say that I am Arabic because I speak also the language, and Egypt is considered to be an Arabic country. Yes, I literally just said that, JB. Yes, Egypt is considered part of the Arabic world. Yes, definitely. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. I'm from Egypt too. Oh, great, cool. Thank you for coming to the class. Your name is very long though, so I'm gonna call you BP. Right? That's much shorter. BP. Be phenomenal. BP. Julian says, oh, he has to go Oh, Julian, you just came to say hello. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. No problem, Julian. You can always watch the class whenever you have time. But thank you for showing up. However, I think I haven't seen Patricia in the chat today, so who knows? Maybe you will have a chance to still win this week's movie quote of the of the week. Arzeng is asking a question. Karim, which one is right? I am Arab, or I am Arabian, or I am Arabic. They're all okay. Just the first one, I would say I am an Arab. I'm an Arab. Or actually, no, you can also say I am Arab. So both of them, yeah. You can say I am an Arab, and you can say I am Arab. You can say I'm Arabic. I am an Arabian. That's all of them are pretty much acceptable. There's no problem if you say any of them. Yeah. Can we say, Karam is asking, can we say a vintage watch or a vintage computer? Yes, definitely, 100%. If, for example, if you can find an old Macintosh, you know, the very, very, very old Macintosh, that's a vintage computer. Yes, 100% you can say that. Very good. Pascal is saying hi from Italy. Hello, Pascal. Very, very nice of you to come to the class. Thank you so much. Arabic. I'm just saying Arabic is the language. That's true, but you can also say a lot of, it's not uncommon, right? Remember, we have colloquial English, right? So colloquial means the living language, right? Which is not necessarily following correct grammar, right? Or doesn't follow a lot of the grammar rules. But it's how people use it, right? So it's not uncommon to hear some people say that, yeah, I'm Arabic. Not uncommon at all. But yes, Arabic is the language. You are correct. Hi from Lisbon. Hello, Sarita. Very nice of you to come to the class. Thank you for coming. So I think you guys are giving some good examples for classics. So I think you're starting to get it. So I am going to carry on. Let's see what somebody's saying. Can I say that's a classic example of good communication? Yes, you can, Afat. That's a different way of using classic, but yes, very good. It's very, very common actually. That's a classic example. That means in this way, when you say that's a classic example, that means this is a very good model for an example. This is the way that you should do it, right? This is how a lot of people agree that this is a good way to say something. Yes, this is the classic example. Very good. Jonas, hello Jonas. Thank you for coming to the class. All right, clothing. Clothing, I'm sure all of you guys know what it means. So clothing just means clothes, right? So I spend a lot of money on clothing every month. And it's a noun, right? So it's just a different way to say clothes, right? That's it. It's purely that simple. It's just a different word for clothes, right? So clothing. Next word, compare. We compared the car with others before we bought it. We compared the car with others before we bought it. Karam is giving some other synonyms for clothing. Attire, yes, attire. Outfits. Outfits is a little more specific, right? So outfit is usually when you have specific clothing that you chose to match, to go together, right? It's called an outfit, and it's usually a complete package. So an outfit might be your top and your bottom, right, together, that you chose. You're like, oh, I think this shirt goes very well with these pants and this hat, and this is your outfit, right? So it's a little bit different. Clothing just means clothes in general, right? It doesn't matter what. Can I use a lots of? A lots of? No, a lot without the S. A lot of. A lot of. Okay, so compare, right? We compared the car with others before we bought it. Compare is when you talk about two things and you want to show similarities or differences, right? So when you are talking about two things or more, it can be more than two. It doesn't have to be only two. But that's what it means usually, right? So comparing is when you talk about two or more things and you want to express to people how are they different or how are they similar, right? So this is comparing. Yes, Afa, you are right, but remember, it can also be more than two things. It does not have to be two things. So actually, if you notice here, he said we compared the car with others before we bought it. So it was more than one car, right? You compared the car with many other cars before you buy it. And I'm sure, actually, I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm pretty sure you know from all the different sentences that you guys write, I'm sure that you know comparatives, right? So when we say, for example, something is taller than something else, or something is shorter, something is cooler, something is more expensive, right? All of these are things that we are using to compare. We compared the two reports carefully. Yes, that is a good sentence, Afat. Very good. To find similarities between people and things. Yes, JB, you are right, but I would add that it's to find similarities and or differences, right? Not only similarities. Cotton. So everybody knows cotton. I'm sure you guys know what cotton is. Cotton is a type of plant that gives us this white sort of material that we use to make clothes. And usually clothes that are 100% cotton are preferred, especially if you are in a hot country. And coincidentally, Egyptian cotton is considered to be some of the best, or one of the best cottons, that exists in the world. So usually Egyptian cotton sheets and things like that are not cheap. So yeah, that's what cotton is, and I'm sure all you guys know what cotton is. See, I'm going to start doing the sniffles now. Okay. Let's carry on. Cotton. Yes, the Americans, Americans would say cotton, 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 right? That the T sort of matches itself in the end, and it becomes cotton. But remember, before you try to learn the American pronunciation, right, just make sure that you can hear all the letters of the word first, right? Especially when you're learning new words. After you get comfortable with it, then you can start working on your pronunciation. So, cotton. All right, next. Craft. The children made crafts at school. So craft can actually be a verb, and at the same time, craft can also be a noun. But here we are using it as a noun. So the children made crafts at school. And crafts just very simply means anything that you make with your hands, right? So anything that you make with your hands can be considered a craft. Exactly, very good, you guys. So Rosa just said things made by hands, or handmade things. Yeah, that's it. DIY is usually crafts. Very good. All of you guys are getting it, right? So yes, that's a craft, right? To make crafts means to do things like this, right? So kids usually do a lot of craft work, especially when they're very young, in the early stages of school, right? They do a lot of crafts, and usually the class is called arts and crafts, right? Arts and crafts. Afat said it also could be a skill. Yes, it definitely can. Yeah, definitely can. Deal. There were so many good deals. It was hard not to buy more than I did. There were so many good deals that it was hard not to buy more than I did. So, very simply, a deal is when you get a good opportunity, usually to get something at a very good price, right? We call that a deal. Garima says an offer. Yes, that's a good synonym for deal, an offer. Deal can also mean, so this is an extra meaning that I'm going to give you guys. Deal can also mean that you agree to something, right? So let's say, for example, somebody is telling you, if you come with me to the mall today so that I am not lonely, I will buy you lunch. And then you say, oh, deal, right? And then you shake hands. Deal. That means, yes, I agree. That sounds good to me, right? Deal. So, yeah, Jessica's saying Black Friday is coming. Yes, Black Friday is coming, and there is going to be a lot of deals, right? So Black Friday is a holiday in lots of places where usually there's a lot of discounts that stores make, and they offer very good deals. Ramazan is saying matter. Yes, that's a different meaning. That's not what we're talking about today. But yes, that's another meaning for deal. P. Vega also said deal with it. But again, that's a different meaning, not the same deal here. Deal that we're talking about just means a good offer, right? A good offer. There were so many good deals, good offers. It was hard not to buy more than I did. Okay, next word is designer. So these designer jeans were very expensive. These designer jeans were very expensive. So designer can have a few meanings in this context that we're talking about here. So a designer is the person who creates, right, how something is going to look, right? So a designer. So I'm guessing in this picture, she is the designer, right? That means she is the person who created, she thought of how something is going to appear, right? Or how something is going to look. But when you say designer jeans, so in fashion, think of it as a collocation, right? So if we say, I want to go buy some designer clothes means not cheap clothes, right? So that means you're probably going to go buy some brands, good brand, expensive brands of clothes that are not going to be cheap, right? So sometimes we use it like that. We say, ooh, that looks like a designer jacket. That means that looks like a very good brand or a high or an expensive kind, high quality or an expensive jacket, right? So yeah, so these two meanings are common when we're talking about fashion, right? So designer is the person who creates how something is going to look, plans it and designs it. And at the same time, we use it as a way also to explain what kind of clothes you're going to get, right? So usually expensive, very expensive, high brand names. We call them designer clothes. Karim is saying exclusive style clothes. Yes, that's a very, very good way to describe it. Yes, exclusive style, right? Okay, determine, to determine. It's difficult to determine the reason for the mistake. It's difficult to determine the reason for the mistake. So, to determine very, very simply means to find out. To find out. Yes, excellent. So a lot of you guys are saying to find out or to discover. Very good. Afa, yes, to discover is also another reason. Meaning. And you can see that from the picture, right? So it's very difficult to find out, or it's very difficult to discover. It's very difficult to realize. It's very difficult to know the reason for the mistake. Amr is also saying to make up my mind. And yes, that's an excellent, that's another excellent synonym for determine, to make up your mind. I can't, for example, I can't determine what I want to do. Yes, make up your mind. Very good. Oh, Pascal is leaving because he's going to sleep. No worries. Thank you for joining us as much as you did, Pascal. Thank you so, so much. And good night. Okay, next. Dress. She always dresses well, right? So dress obviously is a type of clothes, right, that usually women wear. But also it's a verb. So to dress means to put your clothes on, right? Or how you dress is how you appear to people with your clothes, right? Wear. Yes, summer. That's another synonym for that. Very good. It does not have to be formal. No, it doesn't have to be formal. You can dress casually. You can dress formally. You can dress in many different ways. No, it doesn't have to be. It does not have to be formal. It does not have to be formal. Okay, next word is effort. So it says, you did not make enough effort. Please try harder next time. You did not make enough effort. Please try harder next time. Let's see what you guys are doing. You guys, I love that you guys are immediately typing in what you guys think as soon as you see the word before I explain anything. That's cool. I like that. That means you guys you want to be part of this, which is cool. Oh, Arzang is also going to sleep. Good night, Arzang. Thank you for coming to the class, and I hope you watch the video later. Effort, very simply, can be physical, and also it can be mental, right? Energy that you spend on doing something, right? Yes, just like Afa is saying. That's very, very good. No, I wouldn't say your attempt. That was a good effort. No, actually, no. I would say yeah. It could. Yeah, it could. Attempt can be a synonym for effort. To try something really hard. No, not necessarily. It does not have to mean very, very hard. So for example, I can say to you, that was a very pathetic effort, or that was not a very good effort that you put into this, or this was not enough effort, right? So it does not have to mean really hard, right? It can be good effort or bad effort. It just means the energy that you use to do something, right? So how much energy you put into doing something. And it can be physical, or it can be mental when you're thinking about something, right? Yep. A lot of you are writing good examples. Amr, be careful. It doesn't mean thoroughly. So just like I said, it's not related to a lot or a little. It's not related to how much effort or energy or how much energy you put into something, right? That's not the relationship. Effort just means your attempt, right? When you try to do something, right? That's it. How much and how little, that's different. You can add extra words to express how much effort you put, but it does not mean, it does not tell you the quantity of effort when you say the word effort. I kept on make a lot of effort. I would say to make the sentence seem smoother, I would say I put a lot of effort into my project to achieve my goal last week, right? So that's how I would say it, Karim. But yes, that's basically it. Yes, you used effort correctly in the correct context. All right, let's carry on. We are still on the F's. Man, vocabulary takes so much time. But you guys are also asking a lot of questions today, which is not bad. I like answering the questions. Fabric. So fabric, I need to buy lots of fabric in order to make the clothes. So fabric, very simply, is the piece of cloth that you buy before somebody makes it into clothing. So like you see in the picture, all of these are examples of fabric. So materials, yes. So like some of you are saying materials. Yes. It is materials, but please be careful when we say fabric, because the word material can be for anything. So material, for example, can be sugar, or it can be some type of food, or steel, or anything really, right? Can be a material. When you say fabric, you are talking about a very specific kind of material, which is only for making clothes, right? Or anything that has this kind of stuff on it, right? So, for example, your couch, right? So some furniture in the house also has fabric on it. Fabric of cotton. Yes, Jessica, just like that. Judith, yes, that's very good. That's a little bit advanced for this level, but yes, that's a very good other meaning for fabric. The fabric of society. Very good, very, very good. Garima is giving some examples of fabric, so silk fabric, cotton fabric, denim fabric. Yes, Garima, very good. All right, let's carry on. Fairly, fairly, fairly. So fairly and quite. So this is not quiet. Please notice the difference in pronunciation. This is not quiet, right? This is quite, right? So sort of similar to the pronunciation of the word fight, right? So fight, quite, not quiet. Fairly just means quite, and what do we mean by quite? So if I say these shoes are fairly comfortable, so it's another way of expressing degree. So it's very similar to the word pretty. You know, when we say, for example, today is pretty cold. So it's very cold. It's like a synonym for very, right? A synonym for pretty. So these shoes are fairly comfortable. They're quite comfortable. My dress is fairly red. Yeah, that means it's really red, right? Like it's really red. Yes, you can say that. Somebody's asking a question about lots of and lot of. What is the difference? So the difference is, for example, I would say there is a lot of time. A lot of time. Actually, look, let me think about that, and I'll come back later with an example, just so I can give you a good structured example, so I don't just do something off the top of my head and I'll make you more confused, right? So I'll remember that, and I'll come back to it later with some examples. Or I might leave them below the video, below, in the comment section below the video. JB saying fairly easy. Yes, very good. That's a good way of using fairly easy. The weather is quite sunny. Yes. Or the weather is fairly sunny. Yes, very good. Lots of informal. Yeah. Lots. Very good. All right, let's carry on. Fashion conscious. So fashion conscious. So people who care about fashion and what they look like are fashion conscious, and that's it. That's actually the definition, not the example. So that's a definition of what fashion conscious is. If you are anything conscious, conscious, that means you care about something, right? So you can say, for example, I am very price conscious when I buy something. That means I care about how much something costs, and it affects my decision when I'm buying something, right? So that's just what it means. So you can actually change the word fashion to many different other words and just say blah, 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 conscious, right? And it just means that you care about that sort of stuff or concerned about that sort of stuff. So yeah, so fashion conscious. I would not describe myself as a fashion conscious person. So as an expression, I'll give you guys an expression, I could care less about being fashion conscious, which it's another way of saying I don't care at all, right? About my fashion or how I look. Aware of the latest fashions and waiting to follow them. Yeah, people who are fashion conscious are like that. Yes, very good. Fashionable. So we live in a fashionable area of the city. We live in a fashionable area of the city. So fashionable is just very simply an adjective, right? So when you describe something as fashionable, That just means it's stylish, right? It's cool, right? It's modern and up to date with the fashions, right? Very fashionable. Um, Interesting, cool, exciting. Yes, all of them like that. P Vega is asking you, say, I couldn't care less or I could care less. Honestly, this has been debated for a very, very long time. A lot of people say I could care less, and there are others who say that doesn't make sense. You should say I couldn't care less. And to be honest, I don't want to get into the headache of the fight or the debate of which one should you say. So I just say both, right? Sometimes I say this one and sometimes I say the other one. The point is, people usually just know what you mean, right? You're trying to say that you really don't care about something. But yeah, it's debated. A lot of people debate it. Alex is leaving. Thank you, Alex, for coming. We'll see you next time. So yeah, so that's fashionable, you guys. Let's carry on. Fit. These shoes don't fit me. They are too small. So if something fits, that means it's a perfect or it's a good size for what you are talking about. So let's say, for example, I went and I bought a shirt, right? So I bought the shirt, but the shirt is bigger than me. It's too big. So then it doesn't fit me because it's too big, right? Or the opposite. If it's too small, same thing. If it's too small, then I can't fit into the shirt. So yeah, the proper size for you or the right size, suit or a match. That's also, yes, another meaning for it. Very good. So in this example, these shoes don't fit me. That means they don't match the size of my feet. They don't come on, right, my feet, or I can't put them on my feet because they're not the correct size. And that's what it means. A lot of you get it, I think, because most of you are writing them. Not shape, not the right. Well, actually, no. It could mean shape depending on the activity that you're using. So, for example, yeah, no. It could, and yeah, it depends on what you're saying. But when you say the right shape, it's not the right shape that will make something fit somewhere, right? That means it's not going to be the correct measurements. Or you're not, okay, yep, you're not comfortable with it. That can be another way that some people use fit. So for example, you can say, oh, this doesn't fit me. That means this doesn't match me or my style or the things that I like, or it's not suitable for me. Yeah, very good. All right, follow. So follow means things that you are interested in. So in the example here, it says, I really don't follow fashion very much. And that means I don't know much about it. I don't search for information about it. I don't spend my time or waste my time doing things that are related to it, right? So I don't follow fashion very much. I'm not very fashionable. I don't follow whatever. Jessica, I would say this ring doesn't fit. You can just straight away say it doesn't fit my finger, or you can say it doesn't fit on my finger. Yep, that's also okay. But it's on, yeah, not in, on. You followed her into the house. Yes, but that's a different meaning for follow, right? That's a very, the one that you're talking about, afa, is when you physically are following somebody. That means you are going after them, right? But when you say, I really don't follow something, right? So for example, I don't follow sports, right? That means I don't really care about sports that much. I don't watch a lot of sports. But I like to play them. So I like to play sports, but I don't follow sports very much. Because for me, watching other people play sports is just boring, right? Like I would rather play the sport myself instead of watching someone else play it. So that's what it means, right? To follow something just means, are you interested in it or not? Or do you have a lot of information about it or not? All right, next word. Yes, anail. It's when you don't care about something or when you care about it, right? So it depends how you say it. It can mean both. Now this is a nice phrase. So from scratch, to do anything from scratch means you did it completely by yourself. So for example, you guys know that I have a cooking channel, and a lot of the food that I cook on the channel is from scratch. So what does that mean? So for example, let's say that I am making an episode about pizza. If I buy the pizza dough that's made already, and I buy the tomato sauce that's made already, and all I do is just put the tomato sauce on top of the pizza and then just put some things, this is not from scratch. So from scratch means you do everything by yourself. So that means I make the tomato sauce myself. I make the pizza dough, right? I put the flour and the water and the oil and I make the dough myself, and I cut the vegetables, like everything. You do everything from the beginning to the end without buying anything that's ready, right? So this is called from scratch. So yeah, and it's a nice phrase. I like that phrase. Rosa, I'm following Karim's live classes since the beginning. Yes, you have, Rosa. I appreciate it so much. Rosa, you are one of the OGs, is what we call. So OG means, actually it's an interesting word. OG means original gangster, but it doesn't mean gangster, obviously, in this sense. It's just a way to say that you are one of the original first people that did something, right? So you're OG. Rosa, you are definitely OG in my class. I learn English from scratch. Yes, very good. It means, Karim is saying, it means he made the shirt on her own from the initial. Yes, I get what you're saying. Yes, it just means yes, from the very, very beginning, right? You started everything by yourself. JB says, I have been following Smrt English since early 2017. Very, very good. That's a good example of how to use following. Rosa says, yeah, some kind of die-hard student. Yes, you're definitely a die-hard student, Rosa, which is awesome. I appreciate that. All right, next word, to get rid of. Very simply means to throw away. That's it. It's so simple, right? So to get rid of something means to throw it away, right? You don't want it anymore, or you don't need it anymore, or whatever, right? But the point is you throw it away, right? To get rid of something is to throw it away. Junk. Yeah, usually you get rid of junk. To go with. Now we're talking about clothing, remember, right? So when you say, I don't think those shoes go with your shirt, in this context, it means it doesn't match, right? It's not very good when you put it with this shirt, right? It doesn't look good, right? It doesn't match. So to go with. Navjot, hey Navjot, welcome to the class. Thank you for coming. And yes, all of you guys are writing matching to match, matching to match. Doesn't look good together. Yes, all of these are basically what it means to go with, right? So I don't think those shoes go with your shirt. Just be careful, P Vega. It doesn't mean doesn't, right? In this example, it means doesn't, yes. Doesn't look good together, but it doesn't mean, it's not negative, right? So to go with just means matches. If it's negative or positive, depends on you and what you are saying. Navjot says, white usually goes with any color. Yes, that's a very good sentence. To be included. To be included. To be included. This goes with that. This goes with that. If you no, I wouldn't say it's to be included, Afa. I wouldn't say that that's the meaning of to go with. Kashinath says, hi Karim, I'm following your class offline for 2 months. Oh, awesome. Thank you for coming to a live class finally. But that's very kind of you. Thank you, Kashinath. I appreciate that a lot. Rosa says, what does it mean to go with it? To go with it. To go with it means just to accept what's happening, right? Just go with it, right? Like it means just don't complain, don't criticize, just accept it, right? Just let it happen. To go with it, just go with it. Okay. Different from to go with, right? So to go, Rosa is asking about something different, you guys, right? So Rosa is asking about go with it. So think of that as a phrasal verb, go with it, to go with it. But yeah, that's different from what we are talking about. Go with the flow, yes, Amr, that's basically what to go with it means. Go with the flow. BP says, why did you ignore my questions? I don't see your question, BP. I didn't ignore anything. Where is your question? I'm sorry, look, I say this always, guys, in every class. I don't miss your guys' questions, but the chat is crazy, right? On the left side of my screen here, right? Everything is just, and it's not easy for me to always see everything, right? Or not easy, it's impossible actually, right? It's literally impossible for me to see everything. So please don't think that that I'm ignoring anybody. I try as much as I can to answer all the questions. BP says, could you tell me where are you from Egypt? Oh, that's your question? Well, I thought you were asking a question about the lesson, BP. Oh man. All right. Anyway, I'm from Cairo. I'm from Cairo. All right. Have something in mind. Do you have anything in mind for dinner? Do you have anything in mind for dinner? Thank you so much, Waira. Waira says she's enjoying the lesson, which is awesome. Actually, I'll tell you guys a new slang word. It's awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. That's one of my favorite slangs to use when something is very, very cool, right? I say it's awesome sauce. And it just means it's awesome, right? It's just a different way of saying that something is awesome. Awesome sauce. So have something in mind means, do you have a plan, right? Do you have a plan for something? Do you have an idea in your head? Waira says awesome sauce. Yes, just like that. Awesome, and then the word sauce, like sauce, tomato sauce. Yes, it's slang. Yes, that's slang, Judith. It's slang, right? So if something is awesome sauce, that means it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's great, right? It's awesome sauce. And the opposite, if something is not cool, right? So I'll teach you the opposite. If something is not cool and you want to say something is very lame, so lame means the opposite of cool, you say weak sauce. Like weak. The word weak, W-E-A-K, and then you say weak sauce. Oh, that's so weak. That's really weak sauce. That means it's not cool, right? Very, very not cool. So yeah, so to have something in mind, do you have anything in mind for dinner? That means do you have any idea in your mind for dinner? Do you have any plan that you can think of or that you thought of in your mind for dinner? No, it's not when you remember something, Anail. It's not related to remembering, right? It just means a plan or an idea, right? To have something in mind means to have an idea or to have a plan in your mind. Navjot says, this class is awesome sauce. Thank you. Yes, that's a very good way to use that. His class is awesome sauce. Thanks for the colloquial language. You guys are welcome. Colloquial is always cool. All right, next word. Where are we? We're still in the H. Oh my God, this class is going on for so long. I hope you guys are not bored yet. In and out of style. So to be in style or to be out of style. That means fashionable or not fashionable, right? So to be in style, that means what you're looking at is fashionable. It's up to date or it's modern. It's what people think is cool now, right? If you're out of style, that means it's old fashioned, right? It's not stylish anymore to do that sort of stuff. That's pretty much it, right? So that's what it means, to be in style or out of style. So fashionable or old-fashioned. Yes, that's it. That's what it means to be in style or out of style. P Vega says your classes are not boring. Ooh, thank God. That's my biggest fear, right? Is is to be boring and not actually teach you guys, or for you guys not to learn anything. But thank you. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the classes. That makes my day. All right, industry. The car industry has changed greatly in the last 50 years. The car industry has greatly changed, or changed greatly in the last 50 years. So industry just means the type or the kind or the field of whatever it is you're talking about. So in this situation, we're saying the car industry, right? So that means the field, right? Or the concept, the idea of making cars, right? I'm just saying, could you attach the material of the video after finishing the video? I already put the, I did that already in the chat earlier, Amr. If you go back up in the chat, you'll find 2 links that will show you all the vocabulary with some cool exercises for the class today. So you can, yeah, you can find that. And I'll try also to put the link in the comment section below later. So yeah, but you should find it. I put the links in the chat. All right. So remember, industry just means the people or the activities that are related or part of a particular or a specific thing. Right. That's basically what industry means. It does not mean company which manufactures goods, Garima. Be careful, because, for example, I work in the education industry, right? So the education industry just means the education field, right? So it's not always related to, I know it comes from the word industrial, which usually means production and you're making things, but we can also use it this way to mean the field, right, that you're talking about. So the financial industry, the production industry, the car industry, the service industry, whatever, right? It just means the different type or field that we are talking about. Sebastian says, you mean, for example, a group of companies that are dedicated to producing something specific or providing a service in a specific sector. Yes, pretty much. That's what it is. So, but it's not just the companies. It's the companies and the people and the activities or whatever, right? So anything that's part of that field, right? The information industry. Yes, that's it. You guys are getting it. Very good. All right, next word is influence. So my older sister had a lot of influence on me when I was a child. My older sister had a lot of influence. So influence just very simply means effect, right? She had a lot of, or impact. Very good. You guys are writing something else. Impact. Yeah, so that's it. So my older sister had a lot of effect or impact on me when I was a child. So for example, let's think of another, let's think of a simpler example, or example that makes it a little clearer. The reason why I am a teacher today is because I had 2 or 3 teachers in my life that influenced me so much that I wanted to be a teacher, right? So that means they are the reason, right? Because of them, something happened to me, something made me inside get a feeling that I want to do this thing now, right? So it affected me, right? It influenced me. Garima is saying inspired by. Yes, in the example that I gave about myself, it means inspired by. But remember, influence cannot, it doesn't have to be always inspire. It can just mean affect, right? Just purely just affect without inspiration. Yes, impact is okay. Sean is asking. Rose says, I can't find the link in the chat anymore. Can I find it later down below? You should, but just in case, I'm going to put it for you guys again right now. So here's the first link, and here is the second link. So you should see it. You should see it now, you guys, in the chat. Amr is asking, can it be a verb too? Yes, it definitely can be a verb, right? Influence can definitely also be a verb. Yes, it can. All right, let's carry on. So where's the pointer? Ah, there's the point. Ooh, that's cool. I like this pointer. It's nice. Sorry, I'm having fun with the thing here. So, anyway, your intention. I have no intention of seeing that movie. It looks terrible. I have no intention of seeing that movie. It looks terrible. So, intention. Again, it's what are you planning to do, right? What is in your mind or head that you want or are planning to do. So, for example, today, after I finish this stream, my intention is to go home. That means my plan is to go home, or what I've been planning to do is to go home, right? So, intention. Karim is giving a example. He says, my older sister had a lot of influence on me when I was a child, and now she is a teacher. That is why I have a great wish to become a teacher. Yes, that is very good. That's a good sentence, and that's good use of influence. I have the intention of buying a new house. Yes, that's another good use of intention. I have a plan. I have an intention, right? I have a will to buy a new house. Your aim, yes, it can also be your aim, or it can also be your goal, depending on what or how you are using it. Yeah. Good, you guys are doing good, as usual. So item, you guys know this, right? Item just means something, right? An item is something. So for example, I can go to a supermarket, and I'll buy a lot of things, and then you can say, hey, how many items did you buy? That means how many things, right, did you buy? But here, so again, notice this phrase, an item of clothing, an item of clothing. So how many items of clothing did you buy today? Again, it just very simply means how many pieces, right? How many separate, how many individual pieces of clothing or clothes did you buy today? Ramazan is saying, have a nice night. Oh, it's 3:30 a.m. over there. Wow, that's super late, Ramazan. Thank you for being part of the class so far. But yeah, part of a list or numbers, how many pieces. Most of you guys are writing what that means. I'm going to try to go a little faster, you guys, now, because we're never going to finish like this today. Jewelry, right? Jewelry, and you notice there are two different spellings for that, right? So two different spellings for jewelry. It doesn't matter which one you like. Both of them are okay, right? So my girlfriend loves to get new jewelry as a gift, and I'm sure all you guys know what jewelry is. Jewelry are, for example, like that thing that you see here that she is wearing around her neck. So a necklace is a kind of jewelry. Rings are a kind of jewelry. Bracelets that we wear on our hands are kinds of jewelries, right? All of these are kinds of jewelry. So usually things that men and women wear that are most of the time made from gold or silver or precious stones or diamonds or things like that, right? We call that stuff jewelry. Judge. A lot of people judge others based on their clothing, which unfortunately is not a good thing. right? It's not a very good thing. So like I told you guys, I am not very fashion conscious. So if you judged me on my clothing, oh, well, I'll be very interested to see what people actually think. but yeah, you should not judge anybody, right? But a lot of people judge others based on their clothing. And Afa is saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, that's a very classic and very good example. So to judge is when you make an opinion about somebody, right? Or something. That's usually what to judge is. When you make an opinion about somebody or something based on any information that you get, right? In this case, the information is clothes, right? So you looked at somebody, you looked at what they wore, and then after thinking about their clothes, you made a decision or an opinion about that person, right? And this is called judging somebody. Some people are very judgmental about others. Yes, a lot of people unfortunately are. Label, I really don't care about brand name labels. I just buy clothes that I like. Yes, and that is more my style, right? I really don't care about brand labels. As long as I like it, then I like it. That's all I care about. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't care what name is on it. Rosa saying diamonds are girls' best friends. Yes, another very classic quote from, what's her name? That blonde actress, she's super famous, Marilyn Monroe, from Marilyn Monroe. So label is very simply, guys, the part of your clothes that you can see in this picture, right? So it's the part of the clothes that usually it has the name of the brand. It has maybe some information about how to wash the clothes or how to take care of it. It has the size of the clothes, right? So these are usually, that's usually labels. Kashinath says, I would like to attend your classes regularly. I would love it if you attend my classes regularly, Kashinath. I hope you do. Labels are uncomfortable. Yes, they are. They're very annoying and you have to take them out sometimes. Yes, Garima said a tag. Very good. That's a different synonym for label, and it's actually pretty common. So thank you for that. Yes, tags, we call them also. So a label or a tag. Layer. So layer, as you can see, layer just means, as you can see in this picture here, there's something that has something else on top of it, that has something else on top of it. So this is called layers, right? So some examples of layers that are common are maybe a lasagna, right? So if you guys eat lasagna, lasagna has layers, right? If you eat a sandwich, it depends on where you get it from, but some sandwiches also have layers. Ooh, yes, Barbaros has a very good example, an onion. If you cut an onion in half, you can see all the layers inside the onion. Kinds of level. Yes, Rosa. Yes, it's a kind of level, right? So layers. So for example, right now I am wearing 2 layers of clothes. So that I'm wearing a I think red. Yeah, I'm wearing a red shirt under this sweater, you can call it, right? So that's 2 layers. And when I finish and go home, I'm going to wear another 2 layers. So when I leave, because it's super cold now in Vancouver, I'm going to be wearing 4 layers of clothing. Yes, Earth also contains many layers. I'm wearing 2 layers right now. Yes, you guys are getting it. Very, very good. Okay, next word. Logo. So logo, don't confuse logo with brand, okay? So brand very simply means the brand can be both, right? So a brand can be the logo, and at the same time it can be the name of the company. But when you say logo, logo means the visual representation of the company's brand, right? So for example, McDonald's logo is the yellow M, right? That's the McDonald's logo. Apple, yes, very good. The apple is the logo of the brand Apple. Oh yes, JB says the logo is like the symbol. Yes, very good. That's a good synonym for logo, JB. Kashnath, yes, same thing for Kashnath, exactly. So that's it, right? So that's what a logo is. I think this is Yves Saint Laurent. I think that's the logo for Yves Saint Laurent, if I am not mistaken. But yeah, that's what a logo is. You guys are getting it. You know what the logo is. How many layers of clothing is Karim wearing? That could be a game. Weekly guess how many layers of clothing is Karim wearing today? Well, yeah, right now I'm wearing 2, but when I leave, when I go out of the studio and go home, I'm going to wear 4. That's how cold it is right now. And when winter really, really comes, I will probably go up to 5 layers. It's very, very cold in Vancouver, or at least for me, right? Loose. So remember, this word is loose, not lose, not lose with a Z. It's loose with an S sound, right? So loose is usually when something is bigger than you want it to be, right? So just like the example here, right? So this guy, he's wearing these pants, and these pants are loose, right? That means they're a bit big for him. They're not. The opposite is tight, right? So if the pants were too small and it makes him uncomfortable, you would say that it's very tight. But the opposite is loose, right? Alpha says last year in Vancouver, yes, it did. It snowed in Vancouver last year, which is not common. It usually doesn't snow in Vancouver, but last year it snowed a lot. And it snowed so much that the city did not know what to do, right? So buses did not work, and because they're not used to snow here. But yeah, you're right. All right, next, material. So again, material, remember like we said before, and even you guys in the chat mentioned this, it's the other word or another word or a synonym for fabric. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that because you guys already know this. Next, nervous. So I was nervous before giving my presentation. I'm sure you guys know what nervous is. Many of you, I've seen a lot of you sometimes use that word in the chat. Jessica is asking for the pronunciation. So the one with double O is loose with an S. You can hear the S at the end, loose. And the other one is lose with a Z pronunciation for the S, lose. And it's not as long as the other one, right? I don't say loose, loose. It's lose. It's a little bit shorter. And that's it. Nervous is when you are a little scared or you are a little uncomfortable. You don't feel very good about something because you're scared usually. Anxious is a very good and excellent synonym. Yes, Judith, that's correct. No, it's not to think about something very deeply, Kashnath, right? It's not to think about something deeply. That's not nervousness. And okay, what else do we have? No, Rosa. Loose is it's an adjective, just an adjective. Concerned, yes, you could be. Yep, you could be concerned if you're nervous, or you could, yeah, I would say that's okay. Uneasy, okay, yes, that's also fine. Karam is saying I was never nervous before huge packed while presenting different subjects related to business. I am not sure what you mean in the middle. I lost you in the middle, Karam. I don't know what you mean by that. Before huge packed while presenting. I think you're trying to say that you get nervous before you present to a large audience, like when your venue is packed full of people. But yes, that is how you use nervous, if that is what you mean. Okay, carrying on. Notice, nobody noticed my new haircut today. Nobody noticed my new haircut today. So, to notice something means to notice something means to see or to hear something or to realize, right? To realize or to become aware of something. hey, did you notice when I said this? It means, did you realize when I said that? Did you see it when I said it? Did you hear it when I said it? You know, something like that. But I usually like to explain notice as to realize or to be aware, right, of something. To be aware. No, not to pay attention. Afa, I wouldn't say to pay attention. Not to pay attention. Yeah, to be aware. To be aware or to realize. I think these two are the best. Really synonyms for notice. Perceive. That's a good word, Jessica. Yep, perceive is okay. I noticed that my glasses were broken. Yes. Okay, that works. You can say that. All right, offer. So thank you for offering to help. That means what? To offer something is to give something to somebody, right? Or to suggest to give something to somebody. Thank you for offering to help, right? So this is not the same offer that means deal. So I cannot say in this sentence, thank you for dealing to help. No, it's because here it's not the same meaning, right? Here, to offer is when I want to give you something, and in this case, I want to give you my help, right? Or the opportunity for me to help you. Yes, to give opportunity. To hand out can mean the same thing. Yes, to hand out can also be a synonym for offer. That will work. No problems with that. Pair. She has a new pair of shoes on Tuesdays. She has... What did I... Oh, sorry. I read it wrong in my head. She has a new pair of shoes on today. All right. Now it makes sense. She has a new pair of shoes on today. A new pair of shoes on today. So pair usually means a... two of the same kind of something, right? So it's very common when we talk about shoes, we say pair of shoes, pair of socks, pair of sandals, pair of gloves, pair of eyes, pair of ears, right? Whatever, any two of the same thing, right? We say a pair of something. Pair of glasses, yes, we say pair of glasses because glasses have two separate pieces that are the same. A pair and pair are pronounced the same. Yes, they are, P. Vega. They are pronounced the same. So P. Vega is asking if we pronounce this pair the same as pair, P-E-A-R. And yes, we do. The answer is yes. Very good. Pair of gloves, pair of hands. Yes, all of you are giving correct examples. Very good. Next word is pattern. Actually, I talked about this word, I think, maybe in the very first vocabulary class that I did, or the second one. I think so. I can't remember, but I'm sure that I talked about this word. So a pattern is what? A pattern is when you have something that repeats, right? And you can clearly see the repetition, right? This is called a pattern. So, for example, some very, very common patterns in clothing are things like this. Where's... no, I don't want, not that kind of pattern. I want something different. So, for example, let's say striped. So striped, for example, is a kind of pattern, right? So striped, you can very clearly see the repetition, right? So for example, in this picture, what is the pattern? The pattern is white, and then black, and then white, and then black, and it's horizontal, right? So this is the pattern. And it's very simple, basic patterns. Of course, patterns can become very, very complicated. Garima is saying a very good way to describe it. He's saying design that is in sequence. Yes, and if you mean by sequence, that means at some point it repeats. Yes, then you are right. We say pair of trousers here in Italy. Actually, we also say that in English, Rosa. We say a pair of pants or trousers, if you want. But yes, we also say pair for pants or trousers. So yeah, so that's the pattern, right? So you can see here, there's different patterns. There's this colored pattern, and then it repeats. This design here, I'm sure it repeats somewhere if you look at the big piece of fabric. But yeah, that is what we call the pattern, the design usually that's on your clothes. Polyester, again, is a type of material that we use for clothing. So we talked about cotton. So cotton is very common. Polyester is also a type of material that we use for clothing. So, for example, in this picture, this guy's shirt, this boy's shirt, is made of polyester. I don't know if it's 100% polyester, but it has some polyester in it, and you can see, or you can tell, because it's shiny, right? So polyester usually is a little bit shiny, or it's reflective. But yes, it's a type of fabric. Predict. It is impossible to predict what will happen. So to predict very simply means to guess, right? To say what you think is going to happen in the future, right? That's it. This is a prediction. So predict is the verb, and prediction is the noun. All right. Quality. I prefer to buy high quality clothes only. So I'm sure you guys all know quality, what it means, because I've said that word here many times before, and I think you guys also, I've seen you guys talk about quality before. But quality just very simply means how good or how bad something is, right? Or what's the standard of maybe the material that you are using for something, right? So you're welcome, Afa. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming. So that's what it means, right? So quality just means what is the material that you used for something? What is the standard of it? Is it good material, or is it cheap, bad material that maybe will break easily or tear easily or something like that, right? So that's the quality of something. So hopefully the quality of this lesson is good, or at least I wish. That's what I hope for, right? I hope that I provide good quality content or good quality lessons. All right, secondhand. I bought a secondhand suit and saved a lot of money. So secondhand just very simply means you are not the first person to buy something, right? That means it's not new. Somebody else bought it before, they used it, and then it doesn't matter how now you got it, right? So maybe they sold it again, or they whatever, right? The point is, you are maybe the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth. It doesn't matter what number you are, but it just means you are not the first person to buy something, right? It was not new. Or very simply, used. So another way to say secondhand is used. It means obviously somebody else used it before you. Karim is asking, what does this expression mean? There is a myriad of reasons. It just means there's a huge number of reasons. There is a lot of reasons. There is a ton of reasons. That's it. That's all it means. Silk is silk is a type of fabric or a type of material. Silk is very, very, very expensive because silk is silk, right? It feels very, very soft usually, and it feels very nice, right? A lot of people really like silk, but it is not cheap. Sleeve. So sleeve, very simply, is this part of your shirt or your t-shirt, right? So so this, for example, this is a long sleeve sweater, right? If the sweater was up to here, for example, if it only came up to here, I would say that this is a short sleeve, right? So sleeve is the part that just covers your arm, basically, of your shirt or your t-shirt. That's what we call a sleeve. Akshat saying, hi everybody. Hi Akshat, you're coming at the very end almost of the class, but thank you for coming. Welcome to the class. Smart. So smart, obviously you guys know, it has a meaning that is related to intelligent. That means how smart you are, right? But here it means something different. So you look so smart in your formal clothes. So usually when we say you look smart, that means you look good, right? You look really, really good in whatever clothes that you are wearing. Good looking, yes. So like you guys are saying, good looking. Okay, next. Spray, I always use hair spray. So spray is when you, how do I say this? Spray is when you sort of release something or push something out, but over a large, wide area, right? So like this guy is using here, right? This is called a spray can, right? So it's a can, and the way that we use this can is we have to press a button, and what happens is it sprays, right? So this action, when usually something like gas, or sometimes, you know, when you're washing your, I don't know, your window, you know, you have this thing that has soap inside of it, and it's called a spray bottle, right? So that's usually what spray means. So if I say spray bottle, right? As you can see, right? This is all the kinds of things that we have. And this is a good picture that represents spray. So this action that's happening here, you guys, in this picture, this is called spraying, right? That's spraying. And that's what spray means. No, it does not mean splash. P Vega. It's not splash, right? Spray is exactly like in this picture, right? This, if you can see this picture, this is exactly this is a very good representation of the word spray, right? Pictures are small. I'm trying to find a big picture maybe for you guys to see. Yeah, that's basically what spray is. I'm sure that you guys get it now. A school of thought means, no, it does not mean imagination. It means a specific way of thinking about something. So there are some people believe in this way, and some people believe in this way. So these people follow this school of thought, and these people follow this school of thought. That means a specific way that people think about something. That's what a school of thought means. All right, suit. That color really suits you. So no, Jessica, the spray is not the object. The spray is the action of the water going like this, right? Out of the spray can. The object is called a spray can or spray bottle, or like that, like a spray can or a spray bottle. But spray is the action of the water or the liquid going like that, right? That's spray. All right, so suit. Suit has more than one meaning. It can mean the very formal clothes that men and women sometimes also wear. But here it means match again, right? So that color really suits you. That color really looks good on you. It matches you. It fits you, right? So that's the meaning of suit here. Yes, very good, Garima. Looks good on you, matches your personality. Very good. That's exactly what I said. Tight, remember I told you this word before, so the opposite of loose, right? So if you remember loose, tight is the opposite, right? When something is too small to fit you, we call it, or we say that it is tight. Well known. That brand is very well known in my country. So if something is well known, that means everybody knows it, right? It's very famous, it's very popular. It's rare to find somebody who does not know it, right? That's basically what well-known means. And well-known is again, it's an adjective. Well-known is an adjective. Yes, famous is a good synonym, Rosa. Very good. Wool, again, a type of fabric that usually wool comes from sheep. So like this person is holding in their hand here, right? So this is called this is wool. That's what wool is, right? So wool is usually a little bit rougher than cotton, right? And it's warm. But yeah, that's what wool is. It's a type of material or type of fabric. James is well known in my country. Yes, renowned. Yes, Garima, that's not a bad synonym for well known. And you guys, we are at the end. We made it. Wow, it took Took us 2 hours today, huh? Those vocabulary lessons are always so long. But yeah, so I hope that you guys got all the words that we talked about, and I hope that they were clear and that nobody has any problems with the things that we did today. So, yes, it's a very long class today. I know, Rosa. It took a long time. The vocabulary always takes time, and especially if I try to answer some questions, then it becomes really, really longer. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that all the words that we talked about today were useful and you learned something new today. So, because the class has taken so much time, I am not going to do any exercises with you guys, so I will let you fly away so you can all go to sleep or go do whatever it is that you have to do today. So very quickly, I am just going to end. So remember, you can subscribe. Please tell me you can use this spread. Type it in the comment section, Karim, and I'll try to answer it there. Just because it's already late, right? It's been 2 hours for this class so far, so I want you guys to go. Well, I don't want you to go, but I mean, I want whoever wants to go. All right. So remember, Smart English. Subscribe to Smart English. Click on the bell button so you guys can see when our videos are coming out. More importantly, well, not more importantly, but equally as important, click on my face and subscribe so we can beat Sean's number. Sean is at 550, and we're not there yet, but let's beat Sean. If you like food, as usual, like I said before, please follow me also on Food AF. I post food videos every week, and hopefully you will find some cool, interesting things that you can eat there. I usually cook things from my head. I don't follow any recipes or anything like that. So hopefully the food that you see is going to be exciting. And please subscribe to me over there too, right? Come and join my Food AF tribe and be part of my tribe. Same thing on Facebook, Karim Smrt Live, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff is the same. So, we are at the end, and it is time for the movie quote of this week. Judith wants, okay, right, okay. I'm gonna do this one more time, you guys. So I'm gonna give you the links for the exercises so you can practice. So here's the first link. It's in the chat. And here is the second link, right? So you guys can go and practice all the vocabulary that we did today. All right, so let's do the movie quote for this week, and let's see who's going to win and who's going to be first this week. So this is the movie quote for today. Oh, what happened? My keyboard is not working suddenly. Let's try. What's going on? Oh, I see what's happening. It's not me. I'm someone else right now. All right, now I should be able to do stuff, right? Yes, now I can do stuff. Okay, so this is the movie quote for this week, you guys. And waiting for the quote. Here it is, P. Vega, don't worry. Kashanat says, your classes are awesome. Thank you so much, Kathnas. That makes me so happy when I hear stuff like that. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. No need to thank me. I really enjoy this. I seriously enjoy spending this hour, or today 2 hours, with you guys every week. So it's my pleasure, and thank you for making me or letting me have fun. So here's the movie quote for this week, so you guys can go. And it goes like this. So there's two people talking here. So the first person says, when are you going to take it? And the second person says this, sometimes I don't. If I like a moment, I mean me, personally, I don't like to have the distraction of the camera. I just want to stay in it. and that's it. So that's the quote for this week. So if you know what movie this is from, do not forget, please don't tell me in the chat. Don't tell me in the chat. Don't tell me in the chat. Not now. because after I close the chat, I will not see anything. The chat disappears, and I can never see it again. I don't know why. I don't really like that. Like, I wish that I can save the chat, because sometimes I want to see what you guys were typing throughout the whole lesson. But yeah, after the stream finishes, I cannot see the chat. So please, if you guys know the answer when the video finishes, type it in the comment section below. And that's a good idea also, because that keeps the time, and then I can actually see who was first. So that's it. That was the movie quote for this week. And let me just go full screen here. And yeah, and that's pretty much it, you guys. So thank you so much for coming to my class today. And I'm sorry that it was a little bit long, but the vocabulary lessons usually are. It's just the way it is. I've tried to make them shorter, but it doesn't work. It's always so long. So thank you guys. A lot of people are still saying thanks in the chat. You guys are welcome. You're very welcome. And that's been it. So until I see you guys next week, good morning, good evening, and good night, and have a fantastic week, you guys. And where did I go? Here I am. And I am out.